What's up, fishing peeps? Today got a little review for you of the 1-3 Origin C bait casting reel. So we're going to break this video into 3 parts. The first part is I'm going to go over the features and my personal opinion of each feature that they advertise. The next part I'll go over if I've had any issues with the bait casting rod. And then finally I'm going to end up with a conclusion, tell you how much it cost and whether or not I think you should get one. Okay, so I have a list of features here that I'm going to read through and I'm going to point these guys out for you. So the first one is they advertise soft touch handles. So these guys are actually really pleasant to grab and reel with. I haven't had any complaints with them. They're actually, I've used this rod for an entire year. There's no cracks. Nothing seems to be wrong with any part of the handles. They're not loose or anything. They feel really nice in my hand. So no complaints there. Wow, the centrifugal brakes. That's a really hard word to say for me. So hopefully you guys forgive me. I think it's supposed to be centrifugal is how you're supposed to pronounce it, maybe? Centrifugal brakes. Okay. What they're talking about is what's behind this cap here. Breaker on open here. Come on now. And the brake system's inside the spool here. Put my hand over the light so we can read the text a little bit. I have it particularly set on a 2, 0 being the least amount of brakes and 6 being the most. So it's real easy to use. You just take and hold the spool with one finger here, and then you turn the knob, the dial here, and you can change the brakes. Pretty easy to do. I'll put it back at a 2, that's where I had it. And we're going to put it back on. I have been very pleased with the brakes. They haven't caused me any issues. And they actually are easy to adjust, and once I set it, I really don't have to adjust it again. So this one's probably been on a 2 ever since the day I've gotten it. The next feature they talk about is some Japanese cut gears. I'm not really sure what all that means. I haven't had any issues with the gears. It's a really smooth reel. And really tight fitting. There's nothing that feels loose anywhere in this, so I'm guessing the gears are extremely tight fit. So I kind of like that. As soon as I move the reel handle, like it really wants to move the spool. There's no play, so hey, that's a plus on my part. The next feature is the dead stop anti-reverse, meaning hey, as soon as there's no slight rollback of the handle when you go in reverse or the spool. It actually stops it dead. So there's nothing, let me show you guys here. Going forward and then try to move back. It doesn't allow you to go backwards at all. So that's what the dead stop reverse is. It's really nice when you're doing a hook set, so you don't have any slight rollback of your rod handle or your spool, and you get the full hook set into that fish. They do say it's Trickshot compatible. That means you can change out the handle here, maybe the cover on the side, maybe a logo sticker or something. I'm not really interested in those type things. I just want it to work and catch fish. You might be interested in those things, and you can check out their website, see what they have. It does have an integrated hook holder. That is this here. Really nice hook holder. One of my rods has its hook holder below the handle, which I really don't like. I use it for a crankbait rod, and I always grab for the handle, and the crankbait's there, and I always end up with hooks in my hand. So I actually use this on that rod. If you don't want to use the one on your rod, you can easily use this one, and it does a really good job. It doesn't stab into your spool or anything. It doesn't get in the way of your guide here. And speaking of the guide, it's the next thing on the list. It's called the Arrowhead casting system. Let's see if I get a good shot here. I'm not really sure how you call that an arrowhead. It's definitely a large oval, not a tight little circle. Definitely, I think it definitely helps with backlash and allows the line to actually get off the spool easier. I have had some other bait casters that had the tighter guide, and it gave me some fits as far as backlash. So I'm thinking maybe this is definitely a bonus, and definitely helps me keep from having so many backlashes. They also advertise that this guy has a high speed. Oops, sorry guys, sorry. Has a high speed spool. I guess that means the bearings that are in here are high speed bearings and allows the spool to freely rotate. So it probably makes it really good for a pitching rod if you're really doing a lot of pitching. So as far as casting and stuff, I really haven't noticed like any extra distance, but I care more about accuracy than distance. They do advertise a high density aluminum frame. I'm going to open up my case again just so we can look at some of the metal inside. So this casing is aluminum. Let's see if I get a good shot. Yeah, this guy looks like some kind of cast aluminum along with the rest of the frame. It feels really nice in the hand. It's super light. I believe it comes in, it says 7.3 ounces. It is a super light reel and does feel really good in your hands. All right, now it comes down to the part where I really give you my opinion. So I really have not had any issues over a year with this guy. It's obviously been used. Looking at how dirty this guy is, I mean, he's got plenty of dirt. This thing was like pristine white when I got it. So I do put a fair amount of use on my reels. So I think I do have a pretty good assessment of how long this thing will last for at least a year. I probably do need to do a little greasing on the bearings and stuff, but I'll probably do that probably sometime this fall, maybe winter. You got to be tough to live in my household. I absolutely love the brakes. The brake system is fantastic. Having the 6 simple settings here and not having like a dual type setting system makes this super easy to adjust and use. The only negative about this is the cap comes completely off, and I have dropped this while making an adjustment on my boat before. I wish it was more like the Concept SZ Sport Z, because it just comes out and then it falls down. It has a little attachment here and you won't lose it. I have almost dropped this in the water, and I think I would be really sad if that happened to me. Yep, I would definitely be sad. So I wish it did have the cover that was attached and just swung down, and then I can swing it back up and click her back in. It's a really low profile, feels great in my hands. I don't have enormous hands, but I don't have tiny hands either. So when I'm casting and stuff, it feels good. Has a good click to it on the release button. Has a really good click, so feels nice, feels solid, and I don't have really any major complaints other than almost losing the cap on the side. Wish it was attached. Comes down to the final part. Do I recommend it? Yes, I do recommend this. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. The biggest negative is almost losing the entire functionality of it if you lose the side cover. But picking this up, you can pick this up on Amazon. I think I saw it for $78. Not too shabby. If you pick it up anywhere else, it's going to cost you about $100. But I have an Amazon Prime account, and I believe that's where I got this Origin C from. So if you really want one, I suggest picking one up. It is a solid bait casting reel. I have not had any major issues with it. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video and I gave you the information you needed to determine whether or not you wanted to buy the 1.3 Origin C. But until next time, get out there and go catch you some fish.